I voted for him for lower grocery prices. He promised me cheaper prices on groceries.
Vote for Trump means your groceries will be cheaper. So many people mention, I go in, so many people mention groceries.
And that has not happened. Not only has that not happened, I am getting my food stamps taken. I am getting my cash assistance taken. I am getting my Section 8 taken. I am getting all my welfare governments taken. I did not ask for this. I would not have voted for him if I knew this was going to happen.
What makes Donald Trump so special?
Oh my goodness, his honesty, his bravery.
Donald Trump, do you think he's a very honest guy?
Oh, he's horrifically, wonderfully honest.
When I win, I will immediately bring prices down starting on day one.
What Donald Trump has done in this first 200 plus days is exactly the opposite of what he would say he was going to do for people. We're seeing grocery prices go up.
Well, that was a whole trilogy in under a minute. You've got the promise, the cheer, the regret, and finally the receipts. Honestly, if irony paid the bills, Americans would be rich by now. Here's the thing. I'm not some economics guru. I don't have a Wall Street resume or a CNN studio, but I do know when I'm being lied to. And this whole promise of lower grocery prices, that was a lie dressed up with a red hat and a catchy slogan. Because instead of prices dropping, they've gone through the roof. Eggs cost more than a decent cup of coffee, bread feels like it should be listed on a steakhouse menu, and a cheap grocery haul now looks like a luxury shopping spree. And the wild part, the very people who clapped the loudest for that promise, the ones who thought they were voting for relief, are now the ones standing at Walmart staring at a $200 receipt for 3 bags of food. So today, let's dig in. Why MAGA voters are now living through the recession they literally paid for, and why the rest of us are stuck paying the price too. A lot of folks got so hyped up cheering for policies they didn't even understand. And that right there, that's what I like to call the MAGA economic blind spot. It's one of the big reasons we're in this grocery store nightmare to begin with. Let me show you exactly what I mean.
Days of the Trump second presidency. What's your favorite thing that he's done thus far?
Let me see. I'm just trying to think. I don't really listen to the news that much, but I have confidence in him. So what has he done so far? But I know he did it with the tariffs. He did with the tariffs.
Tariffs. She said it like it was a magic word that explains everything. And honestly, that's how a lot of people treat politics. Buzzwords over understanding. The irony? Tariffs are exactly why her grocery bill looks like a ransom note. See, tariffs don't punish the country you're aiming at. They punish you. Importers pay more, companies pay more, and guess what? Those higher costs get passed down the line until they land right in your cart. You can't slap tariffs on imports and expect Walmart to hand out discounts. That's not how math works. So while she's out here proudly throwing around the word tariffs like it's a victory chant, the reality is tariffs are one of the reasons she can't afford to make spaghetti without taking out a small loan for the pasta and sauce.
The tariffs are working. The tariffs are working. If you're 50 years old and have a 401k, you've lost about $74,000 in the past 3 months. Does that feel like it's working?
No, I've lost more than that.
So tariffs jack up the price of what goes into your food, the cans, the packaging, even the equipment. But that's only half the story, because what happens when the food itself never even makes it to the shelf? That's where the farm labor blind spot comes in.
Farmers across America helped propel Donald Trump back into the White House in November's election. And even in a state like deep blue California, which, by the way, produces over half of the food we consume here in the United States, those farmers in California also supported Donald Trump. Now, because of the Electoral College, their votes really don't matter all that much, but these farmers said, by God, I want Donald Trump up there. And a month and a half later, these very same farmers, according to a new report from Politico, are basically wetting their pants in fear because, oh God, Donald Trump's going to deport half of our workforce. They're acting like they've just discovered this, like this wasn't something that Donald Trump repeatedly said on the campaign trail, which he did. You know, again, I'll give Trump full credit for being fully honest about the tariffs and the deportations. He never sugarcoated it. I mean, he lied about, how it was going to help us. It's not going to help us. But in terms of what he was going to do, he was honest. He was just dishonest about the why.
American workers and American taxpayers have been taken advantage of for multi-generation, for decades. And it's time for somebody to stand up and put us first and put the country first and do what's best for the country, not what's best for the politicians.
Even if you as a farmer suffer.
That's right.
I mean, some people would hear that and be quite surprised that you're prepared to put your livelihood, your family's livelihood, on the line for the sake of politics.
Well, that's my duty is for being the head of my household. I've got to do what I got to do, what's going to be better for the future, better for the kids. It's not about today.
See, that right there is the farm labor blind spot in action. Here's a farmer literally saying he's willing to suffer, even if it means empty fields, rotting crops, and higher grocery bills, as long as it feels like America first. But here's the problem. Suffering doesn't stop at the farm. When fewer workers are around to pick, pack, and process food, it doesn't just hurt the farmer, it hits your wallet at checkout. Basic economics, less supply, higher prices. So while this guy's out here calling it patriotism, the rest of us are paying $12 for lettuce and treating eggs like collectibles. And let's be honest, you can't eat slogans. Somebody has to grow the food, and somebody has to get it to the store. If that workforce disappears, your pantry becomes the sacrifice. So between tariffs quietly sneaking into your receipt and farms running short on the very people who make sure food gets from the field to your table, it's no wonder the shelves feel like a luxury aisle. And that brings us to the part nobody can ignore, the prices themselves. Because it doesn't matter how patriotic the policy sounds if, at the end of the day, you're paying steakhouse prices for cereal. Let's talk about why groceries have officially gone through the roof.
Groceries are so expensive right now, you don't need a pantry. You need a time machine back to the Great Depression. Listen, at this point, if you don't have what I call a Depression-era pantry, you are setting yourself up for failure.
Does anybody else get physically ill whenever they go grocery shopping and they see the total when they're checking out? Like my wife and I, we have a family of 5, right? Me, her, and 3 kids. And then you throw in 2 dogs into that as well. She went grocery shopping the other day and she was like sick at the price. So like I check at the bank account and it's $550. And like that lasts us like a week and a half. So I don't even know how the majority of the people out there are even affording groceries these days.
Groceries are up more than 25% since 2019. That means the same cart of food you bought before the pandemic now costs you a car payment. Eggs, milk, bread, chicken, stuff that used to be basic, now feel like luxuries.
So we're in Target, and this is what we got for shopping. That's right, so all these little bits and pieces here. It's not really that much, very short, small checkout. And we'll let you know how much it costs in just a second. Right, so we're in the car, we've got our groceries. So, for those items, really wasn't that big of a selection, but it wasn't $100, it wasn't $200, it wasn't even $300, it was actually $337. Take a look.
All right, you guys, so you tell me if you think inflation's getting crazy, okay? This is not the time to be asking anybody to do anything for free. Everything costs money. Okay, I'm going to show you what I got at Walmart this morning. I got this insulated food jar for my daughter to take hot lunch to school. This was $21. I just went through the clearance aisle. She's been wanting some of these forever. $3. Okay, whatever, not bad. Off-brand Equate dry shampoo, okay? Ground beef. Not even the good kind, you know? And then I got this. This was like $1.97 just so I could write recipes on the fridge. $65 for this. And the little board. This That's all I got. $65. I don't know what to say anymore. I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know what to think anymore. If you're surviving, tell me how. If you know how to coupon, tell me how. If you have tips for making it in this economy, give me some tips. I'll take any tips. Any tips. I don't know. Is this not just outrageous? Hamburger meat's almost $7 a pound. Can't even afford to make beef tacos. Okay, that used to be like a little cheap meal. No, we might as well go buy steaks. Okay? If you made it this far, tell me how much you spend a week on groceries and how many people are in your family.
I don't give a fuck if you're Democrat, Republican. Look at this, $100. Hot dogs, cherries, bananas, some juice, and some eggs. What a joke.
Look at this. They want $1.32 for one nectarine. $1.32 for one nectarine, y'all. I'd be better off walking over here and getting a goddamn orange. For 97 friggin' cents. Well, wait, there's more. One apple. Oh, apple is 1.8 a pound. But those are each. Look, lemons, 68 friggin' cents. They didn't went that. They're twice as much as they were. Look, y'all, tomatoes, $1.97. $2 for a tomato. No salsa for you.
Dear MAGA, this is what you did by voting for Donald Trump. You brought the highest beef prices ever in this country. Ever. You did this. Now there's security tags on beef in the grocery stores. You did that. You did.
Now, I've been reading your comments, and first off, I just want to say I'm really grateful. So many of you are sharing your own stories and experiences, and it's powerful. It lets people see they're not alone in what they're going through. But then there's the other side of the comment section. Folks who seem to be living in a totally different reality. I'm not sure if it's a real one or one they made up on the spot, because while most people are out here saying, yep, groceries are insane right now, there are a few voices fighting tooth and nail to convince everyone it's all fake news. And I'm just sitting here like, man, I don't know which America y'all are living in, but it sure isn't the one with $9 heavy cream and $13 mushrooms. Feels like we're shopping in two different countries. And that right there, that's the psychology of blame. When prices skyrocket, instead of asking hard questions about policies or leadership, some folks go straight into denial mode. Or worse, they just blame whoever their team tells them to blame. It's easier to hold on to the narrative than to face the reality that your guy might have been selling you slogans instead of solutions. So let's dig into that, why MAGA voters keep pointing fingers at everyone but the policies that actually fueled this mess.
Companies pay the tariffs, not us. Yeah, anything.
So China doesn't pay the tariffs. We do when they come in.
No, it doesn't work like that. No, it doesn't work like that.
I'm definitely a Trump supporter. Yeah. I believe in him wholeheartedly. And
Tell me why.
Because our economy was better. I had money in my pocket. I wasn't spending $5 a gallon for diesel. Yeah. We run a small business, and it's important. Fuel, energy is important.
So the numbers show that the economy is better, but you're not feeling it?
No, I don't believe in their numbers. They lie.
Even though that's what the...
I've checked myself, and they lie.
How so? Tell me.
How so? Well, like they say the economy's better. It's not. Immigrants being over here is fine as long as they come legally. And we vet them, and we know who is riding beside us in our vehicles. They don't know our laws. They don't speak our language. How can they communicate properly? It's not safe for them, and it's not safe for...
What has he done that makes him so special in your mind?
He just doesn't lie like all the other politicians do. He's not a politician. That's why I liked him.
I voted for him for lower grocery prices. He promised me cheaper prices on groceries. And that has not happened. Not only has that not happened, I am getting my food stamps taken. I am getting my cash assistance taken. I am getting my Section 8 taken. I am getting all my welfare governments taken. I did not ask for this. I would not have voted for him if I knew this was going to happen. So what do I do now? What do the people do now? The ones that regret their vote. What do we do? I can't go out and get a regular job. And it's not even about, these families being separated from their loved ones. It's not about these 5 and 6 year olds getting their families taken away from them in the middle of a school day. It's not about any of that. It's about me and my food stamps and my cash assistance. Me. That I'm the only one that matters in this country. I am taking my life back.
Who do you guys think you'll vote for?
I don't particularly love him, but Trump.
Trump? Okay.
Yeah, Trump too.
Who do you think you'll be voting for?
I need to research it more, but at the moment it seems like out of the candidates we have, Trump seems to be the best in my opinion.
Why exactly is that?
It seemed while he was in office, a lot of good things were made, especially in the economy. Things were really good. It was easier to build homes, to purchase. So things just seemed better. Like positive improvements seemed to be made while he was in office.
Why do you think you guys will vote for Trump?
He'll help economically, and I'm very much Republican.
Now, a lot of these folks genuinely believe the current president is the best option for the country's economy. But I keep asking myself, is that belief based on some deep analysis of the facts, or is it just what psychologists call system justification, defending the system you've already hitched your identity to, even when it's working against you? Sounds fancy, but it just means this. It's easier to defend a broken system than admit you were fooled by it. And that's why you'll see folks literally staring at a $200 grocery receipt and still insisting prices aren't that bad. That's denial, aisle 5 special. Trust me, if things were fine, I wouldn't be treating this creamer like it's liquid gold. But here's the catch. Denial only works for so long, because you can't gaslight your bank account. You can't spin a credit card bill. When the money's gone, it's gone. And at that point, doesn't matter what team you play for. The checkout line is the great equalizer. Because denial might be free, but groceries sure aren't.
So today, Donald Trump declared in the White House that the price of groceries, and especially eggs, have come way down, all thanks to his presidency so far. Don't listen to me, listen to Donald Trump say it himself.
But if you remember my first week, I was standing here, Paul, and they were screaming about eggs. The cost of eggs have gone through the roof. They were up like 500, crazy, like 4 or 5 times. And we won't have eggs for Easter, they were saying. There will be no eggs. You can't order eggs. They wanted us to order plastic in the shape of eggs. Well, yesterday we had 48,000 people at the Easter hunt. They call it the Easter roll at the White House. And we had all eggs. And as you know, the cost of eggs has come down like 93, 94% since we took office. And they're pretty much normally priced now. Great job. Our Secretary of Agriculture, Brooke Rollins, did a very good job. But groceries have come down. It's all coming down.
Please, do not let Donald Trump insult your intelligence and gaslight you into thinking that groceries are cheaper than what they actually are, because you're the one going to the grocery store and paying the bill, not Donald Trump. You're the one suffering because Donald Trump is making everything more expensive thanks to his tariffs and trade war that he's created with the entire globe.
So today we have people saying Trump lied to us. Trump said he's going to bring grocery prices down, but in an interview he said that, once the prices are high, it's very hard to bring them down. It's very hard to change price once it's high. He's just being honest. I mean, Kamala or Biden would gaslight you and just lie and say, well, yeah, we're going to get them down. Trump is transparent and honest, okay? You might not like what he says, but he'll say whatever he has to say. Just like when he said with Project 2025 that he never read it. He said, I never read it because when I get asked by you people about Project 2025, that I can honestly say that I have no idea. I've never read it. He just wants to be honest when he's speaking. But one thing that he is going to do, and I'm very confident it's going to happen soon, within a year or two, gas prices are going to go down, baby. We're going to have a big change soon. Trump supporters, hit that follow button. We'll see you later on live.
They've already seen it get much better. The price of groceries are substantially down.
No, they're not. Are you kidding me? If you would drag your Cheeto Puff looking face to a grocery store, you'd see prices are through the roof. I'm over here clipping coupons like it's my second job just to bring prices down. But I do give you credit. You do produce something more than any other president has, which is super affordable. Bullshit sandwiches. And these people are eating them up.
Groceries, a term I used to use. It's sort of an old-fashioned term, but I used to use it. One on the border, and I went on groceries. It's a very simple word, groceries. Like almost, who uses the word? I started using the word, the groceries. More people tell me about groceries. The word grocery, I've heard it more in the last year than any other word, I think. Everyone tells me about the word groceries.
You hear the word groceries, you say, really? But I get more complaints about groceries.
Beautiful but simple word, groceries. Sir, my groceries. The cost of groceries, a word that I used a lot on the campaign. It's like an old-fashioned word, but it's a beautiful word, very descriptive word. They say my groceries are so much more. I have it, the term is just like an old term, and it's a beautiful.
Such a basic term, groceries. The groceries, they mean every single item of grocery.
People tell me about the groceries. The groceries are groceries. They use and what they're talking about is food.
It cracks me up how obsessed he is with the word groceries. Like, bro, you've never set foot in a grocery store in your entire life, unless we're counting Whole Foods photo ops, in which case, nice try. And for anyone out there who still thinks grocery inflation is just people whining, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment. Tell me where you're shopping, because clearly you've unlocked some secret portal the rest of us don't know about. Oh, and if anyone's ever actually spotted a president pushing a cart down aisle 5, buying milk, bread, maybe even a box of Pop-Tarts, please let me know. I'd frame that story and hang it on the wall.
What a disappointment this is, where you just believed that a freaking politician was actually trustworthy, that whenever he said he would stay out of these wars and bring world peace, that America would be America first, not Israel first.
He was convicted 34 times of tax evasion. He lied 35,000 times during his first term, and he cheated on multiple wives. We knew that he wasn't honest. That's on you and that stupid hat. There. I fixed it.
Today, and you cannot make this shit up, after 4 years of almost daily blaming Biden and the Democrats for high grocery prices, even though a large amount of that was due to Trump's first-term economic plan, Fox News is now saying that the even higher grocery prices Americans are about to endure is, quote, patriotic.
Donald Trump just told America that gas is cheap, groceries are down, and eggs are basically free, and none of it is true. Not a single word. In fact, he's lying about the 3 things hurting Americans the most right now: gas, groceries, and eggs. Let's break it down. Last week, Trump claimed gas hit $1.98 in a couple of states. But data from AAA and Gas Buddy says the lowest price was $2.19 at one station. No state average was under $2.70, and the national average over $3.17. Next, groceries. Trump said prices are dropping. Reality, March saw the biggest price hike in over a year. And his new 10% import tariff, yeah, that hasn't even hit yet. Then came the wildest one, eggs. Trump claimed they've dropped 94% since he took office. If that were true, you could buy a dozen for 38 cents. Actual cost? $6.23, a record high. Even wholesale, down 52%, still nowhere close. So here's the real headline. Trump isn't just twisting the truth. He's trying to gaslight your grocery cart. And when asked to back it up, the White House had no proof, no data, no receipts, just a press statement that said eggs are down significantly. That's not a fact, and that's a Facebook comment. And here's what this really means. If you can't trust a leader on what things cost, how do you trust them on anything?
You see, I know it's hard to believe. Nobody likes admitting they were lied to, or that things are worse than they thought. But at some point, you've got to gather whatever strength you've got left and take a little step into realityville. Groceries are expensive. That's a fact. Some bad choices were made. Also a fact, even if you don't want to see it. And now here we are, all of us, living through something none of us asked for. But hey, it's been a pleasure having you with me through this ride. Drop a comment below. Tell me how you're surviving these grocery prices, what hacks you found, or just how you're keeping your sanity while eggs cost more than rent. And now, if you'll excuse me, I need to refill this mug before I start calculating how much creamer has gone up since last week. I'm Glenn, this is Think Out Loud, and remember, coffee may not fix inflation, but it sure makes the rant easier. See you on the next video.